Thank you. Now let's turn to Sanjay at Google. What technologies do you see enabling the smart home and why? And how do you recommend getting these technologies to work better together, independent of the protocol or brand?
Thank you. Thank you for that. It's interesting. People talk about the smart home, and rather than smart, because we're not really quite sure what that is, we prefer to think about our mission in terms of how can we help our end users? How can the home actually be helpful to them, right? How can we make them more productive? How can they have the experiences that they desire? And how can they have peace of mind so they know that the things that matter to them are actually on track and they're aware of them, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to deliver a strong portfolio of devices and services towards these goals of creating a helpful home. And to do that, we want to get technologies to work better together. Of course, we have to address the fundamentals, right? You must start with a whole home, robust Wi-Fi network, and that's realizable through a really dead simple mesh system these days. You want to make sure that that's the fundamentals. But then you have to look at low power technologies like 15.4, BLE, because this awareness comes from sensors and other battery operated devices where power consumption is so critical. And we know that we can't deliver that through Wi Fi, and we have to do that through 15.4 or BLE and such, right? Now, once we tie all these things together, the experiences, however, are delivered by the software that tie all of these technologies together. And our point of view is if we do our jobs right, the users, in fact, should not even have to think about what the technology is. But they should just be really delighted by how easy it was to set up, how convenient it was to interact with the home and get the information that they need. And this information should be delivered exactly when it needs to be and where it needs to be, right? So what we do at Google is we start with the user journeys, as we call them, which is what is it that users are trying to do? What is it that they're trying to understand about their home, and what can their home do for them? And then we develop the architectures, the layers, and the technologies, which we work with our partners, such as NXP, to pull these things together. When we see that a technology doesn't quite exist yet, we try to invent it or we try to adopt it. We've heard some examples of that here today. And we can see evidence of this through our ecosystem of partners and our helpful interactions that we deliver to our end users through various modalities of interaction depending on the context. So for example, if you're looking for a voice-driven hands-free interaction, and just because I have so many assistant devices in my home, I will say, okay, G, turn on the backyard lights. That's something that I'm able to do very easily every day without stepping outside, right? We have displays which can serve as a touch control hub and point for your home. So you can centrally have entertainment delivered, control your lighting, control your media and such. And then, finally, the Google Home app, because all of us have these really nice mobile phones that allows you to have mobile interactions with your home as well. So you can get the information and do the control that you're trying to do. So that's the way we see all these technologies coming together to deliver the use cases and the helpfulness to end users.
Wow. Okay, that's really great. Now, Raphael, as a core technology provider of so many wireless protocols, what does NXP see as the biggest challenge and opportunity for the industry? And what do you feel is needed to overcome some of these challenges?
I just finished reading a book that the name was called Obstacle is the Way. So I'm going to answer the question in a similar fashion. The challenge is the opportunity. And we talked about it, Sanjay alluded to it in multiple ways, but more and more devices are getting smarter and they're getting connected. Today's home is not surprising to see 20 or more connected devices, and we know that this number will grow exponentially in the next few years. And by the way, today I'm not talking about the demand uptake that we have because of COVID, right, of laptops and tablets and voice assistants and over-the-top services. I'm talking about more and more about devices that just even a few years ago we never thought of them being potential targets for connectivity. So you're talking about door locks, lights, kitchen appliances, smoke detectors, and if you go into industrial, the list is even longer. Each of them, of these segments, have different requirements, different cost points, form factors. There's not necessarily a one size fits all in terms of technology, like you alluded with the question. And there's unlikely to be a winner takes all scenario, right? In these markets, it is a fragmented market and very likely will remain fragmented. And so if you look at the wide funnel of technical and time to market needs, in order to seize the opportunity, right, and meet the challenge, a technology vendor like ourselves in NXP, we must offer a comprehensive portfolio of connectivity technology options, right? Going for our customers to one company for Bluetooth and another for 802.15.4 and maybe one for Wi-Fi, it's just simply not practical, not effective, not costly. We must simplify software. Software is key. These are open ecosystems, right? This is where companies' products must interact with one another. And so minimizing the software burden through really good SDKs, reference applications, pre-integration is fundamental. Same goes for simplifying hardware complexity. There is, like you alluded, multiple type of technologies support multiple antennas, different power profiles, different PCB footprint requirements. We're going to have to deliver coexistence techniques that allow various technologies to operate seamlessly, reliably, predictably. And then let's remember that some of these companies are not big. The companies addressing IoT and industrial, right? So we must offer support flexibility. We must offer technology accessibility. And so it helps a great deal to be able to rely on technology suppliers like NXP that are able to address these challenges with end-to-end solutions.